In the last 2 weeks, Hong Kong publisher Raymond Yeung has hastily made changes to a draft paper copy of a book entitled To Freedom, replacing the word revolution with protest, tweaking a banned slogan, and cutting passages that advocate independence for the Chinese-ruled city. The changes were hard to make, he told Reuters, but impossible to avoid, since China passed the national security law on June 30th, making the broadly defined crimes of secession, subversion, terrorism, and collusion with foreign forces punishable by up to life in prison. This is really painful, Yeung said as he flipped through pages of the collection of essays by 50 protesters, lawyers, social workers, and other participants in the pro-democracy demonstrations that shook Hong Kong last year. To Freedom is the first political book Yeung has taken on as a part-time publisher. After Beijing introduced the security law, the book's original printer bailed and 2 other printers declined, he said. Another printer agreed to take it anonymously, but wants to get a better sense of how the security law is implemented first. Just as demand for political books was surging in Hong Kong after a year of protests, Hong Kong's once unbridled and prolific independent publishers are now censoring themselves in the face of the new law. Hong Kong authorities say freedom of speech remains intact, but in the past 2 weeks, public libraries have taken some books off the shelves, shops have removed protest-related decorations, and the slogan, Liberate Hong Kong, Revolution of Our Times, has been declared illegal. Jimmy Pang, a veteran local publisher, said 2020 is the most terrifying year because of the security law and the economic downturn that was already hurting publishers. He said the law has prompted publishing houses and writers to halt projects while printers, distributors, and bookstores have turned down sensitive books. For example, Pang believes that a book by political cartoonist Zunzi featuring unflattering caricatures of Chinese leaders, such as President Xi Jinping and former President Hu Jintao and Jiang Zemin, which was published in 2019 before the law came into effect, could now be deemed too sensitive to put on the shelves.
社會咧或者係個出版咧，我相信咧將來咧呢啲同政治敏感嘅書咧就肯定冇噶啦，甚至乎接近嘅都冇。
Pang is also a spokesman for 50 exhibitors that plan to participate in this year's annual Hong Kong Book Fair. Originally planned for this week, the fair normally draws some needed revenue for publishers, but was delayed at last minute until further notice due to the recent spike in coronavirus cases around the territory. The Hong Kong Trade Development Council, which organizes the fair, has told exhibitors not to display what it called unlawful books, but did not explain further.